Hi friends, I'm coming to you not quite live, but practically live from my backyard. But I wanted to clear up any of the concerns and some of the questions we've had about the permanent makeup tattoo services. So I feel like the name is kind of deceiving and a little intimidating. And I'm GEMY, the owner of Studio 39, and I have zero makeup on right now. And you can see my sun damage. I have no shame in my beauty game. I've had many services at Linnaeus, and I will be posting about some of them over the next week. But one thing that I did in 2015 was I had my brows microbladed. I am a blonde and I don't have very solid brow lines. So most blondes understand the struggle of having that where have my eyebrows gone moment over 40. And also, as we age, our brows naturally thin. So I do color my eyebrows with a pigment that is a service that we provide at my salon. And I have not had the actual microblading touched up since 2016, I believe. But I will be posting some pictures of not long after I had it done. And, it did fade. So these are not really quote permanent services on your face because the skin tissue is much thinner, so the ink does not go further in. It's not like traditional tattoo methods. Microblading is done with a special little freehand blade. It's actually in origin a Japanese technique, and it blew up in the United States about 3 years ago. So it has really evolved very quickly, and I think a lot of Generation X women probably are thinking of permanent tattoo on your face. They think of like the 80s where the women had like the very visible lip line and the eyeliner that was like, whoa. I mean, I had one of my mom's close friends in the 80s. I always could not stop staring at her face. So let me say that makeup artistry in the quote permanent, semi-permanent really, field has really advanced. And personally, I have noticed that I feel these services have evolved far more quickly than the information that is being provided out there, because there's a lot of discrepancy state by state on what professional license should carry this service, right? The tattoo artists say originally they were supposed to, and then of course it went into the med spas and the salons, and so then the cosmetology people thought it should be picked up. So there are certifications for this, but either way it requires specialized training. But I do want to let you know that the Inked and Classy gal is very trained. Megan is on top of her game, and we will be posting tons of pictures. And for those of you who have expressed, I'm kind of conservative. I am too. And I had it done, and it still scared me. And I've been getting Botox since I was in my 20s. I mean, hey, my girlfriends teased me way back then in my 20s, but I was like, you know what? I want to be ahead of the game when I'm 40, and I'm 42. So I have never regretted starting young on beauty services, but when this hit a few years, I get it. It was a little intimidating because it was tattoo and I didn't have any tattoos. So I understand the questions that we have had today about our desire to have creative freedom, but at the end of the day, we're service providers, and we want to make everybody feel comfortable and more self-confident, and this to be a very positive experience. So if there is something that you are just totally uncomfortable with, we're not going to force you to do it. What we don't want is somebody to go into the process with a closed mind about services. We will educate you along the way, and that's what we're trying to do, is we're trying to get as much content out there so that you are informed. And I'm getting ready to post a video that I think will be a little helpful, because I mentioned about how sometimes in the beauty industry we can forget that not everybody's exposed to services like we are. But I will tell you that whenever I see Linnae, I'm always like, I don't want to notice anything different. I mean, there's always going to be a little bit of downtime when you're doing more, advanced procedures. I mean, there are some services that don't have any downtime, but if you have gotten to a point in your life where you're in your 30s and 40s and you have done very little skincare, you're probably going to need a little extra attention. So that's why we say we want to have creative freedom, we want to be able to provide you with our expert experience and give you, our opinion based on 20 years of experience. So that's what we really mean by creative freedom. And one thing that we, had some concerns about, I'll always shoot everyone straight. I charge $100 an hour for color. I'm a busy mom. I have a full staff of W-2 employees. Like, it's a business where I do payroll and everything else. So when we say we really want a commitment to the process, what we don't want is somebody who's just really kind of looking for some highlights and Botox, and then they want to bounce out of the positive experience of the transformation itself, because this is something that we want to educate you with and use it as an opportunity to educate other women. Lene and I are in our 40s, and we've been friends for many, many years, and we have discussed this at great length. So that's why we want to get the information out there. But we also want you to know that, we do consultations, and part of our job is to make you feel at ease. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate.